Hello and welcome everybody to the latest edition of Midweek Matters. I'm your host James Graham, joined again by Charlie White.
How are you, Jimmy?
I'm going okay, mate. I'm going okay. It was a big Easter.
It was a big Easter. I think we were with each other every day.
We did spend a lot of time together.
We're spending more and more time together, aren't we? Every single day at the moment now when we say goodbye, it's pretty much see you tomorrow, mate.
Yeah. Every day apart from Friday.
Every day. No, Friday we do footy talk.
No, but we don't say see you tomorrow on a Friday.
That's right. Because we don't see each other on a Saturday.
That's right.
But we did in the Gold Coast this week, and
we did.
A bit of fun.
Ate way too much chocolate.
Yeah.
Like, I'm over it.
Chocolate is probably the least of my issues, but anyway.
Yeah, it just... Thing is, though, because it's just still lingering in the house. I'm just eating it for no reason.
Yeah. Also, I'd been away, so I brought my missus back an Easter egg on Monday when I got back. Got back on Monday? Yeah, brought her back an Easter egg.
An Easter egg?
Yeah. So now and she had an Easter egg for me. Now we've got a couple of Easter eggs around the house. And I've been having them. Last night, what we did is we made some popcorn and then threw the Easter egg chocolate into the popcorn. And it melted a little bit.
You melted it first or you just threw it in whole?
Threw it in and then it melted with the hot popcorn.
What movie did you watch?
We started watching...
I'm assuming you were watching a movie. I've jumped ahead there. You're not just doing that randomly.
Yeah. We started watching this true crime movie on Netflix. Got about 20 minutes in and I was like, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed.
Sounds riveting.
That wasn't very riveting, but the NRL's been very riveting. And it's already round 7. We're already a quarter away through the season.
I know.
That's insane, isn't it?
It is a bit strange. It's strange how close the competition is. Yeah. Still, even after 7 rounds, there's not. I don't know, other than the Broncos, but they came crashing back down to earth. There's been a few standout games, but there's no team I think because we got so used to Penrith dominating, it's it's Penrith's to lose for the past couple of years. But the pack's so big, you kind of everyone's beating everyone, and we've still got to go through the origin period where players are gonna or teams are gonna suffer from that, and it's such an exciting competition. And speaking of origin, I know Josh had a car syndesmosis injury, which is obviously devastating for him. And they're saying now that he's out, what are New South Wales going to do? Well, he didn't play in last year's series. Yeah. So he's not an incumbent. And people are saying different players, but have I missed something about Daniel Tupou?
He's probably the criticism of him maybe in that arena, he hasn't performed at the same level he performs at the Roosters. That's probably what the criticism has been of him.
But he's not. He's not even in the conversation. For me,
he is in the conversation.
But I've not seen his name.
I think Gus Gould said it should be Daniel Tupou.
Well, good. I think I don't see the point in changing it. That's not a position.
What about Campbell Graham? Because obviously the centres are going to be. You're going to have new centres in there because Latrell Mitchell and Tom Trbojevic have to be in that team, and then Brian To'o's probably the best winger in the game, so he's got to be in that team. I think Campbell Graham can play wing. He's played wing for Australia. He's a good finisher. He's a great defender. He is someone who probably deserves an opportunity in there now.
I know what you're saying, but then you've got in your outside backs, you've got 2 lads. Well, 3 out of the 4 centre and wingers aren't playing that position week to week.
Yeah. That's an issue with New South Wales had the last few years as well.
But you've got, I think you find a spot for certain people, but
because the other option,
Latrell, Turbo, play them in the centres, or even we're forgetting about Jack Whiten and then what he brought to the table last year, and then what about Matt Burton and what he brought to the table last year?
Yeah, he was so good. The thing is with Matt Burton or Jack Whiten, you could play either of them in the centres, have Latrell as the other centre, and then put Turbo on the wing. He's played wing before. He could easily do a job at wing. Like the more you talk about it, and just thinking about it now, I actually reckon that's maybe a better option. Like I'd throw Matt Burton in the centres and put Turbo on the wing because Matt Burton looked like he was sort of made for that arena, and he also took it to Dane Gagai, got into a little dust up with him, and he's so skillful. Then you've got another option for field goals late in games. Like I think he's someone you probably want in that New South Wales setup for the next 10 years anyway. So why not just get him in now? And Tom Trbojevic would be fantastic on the wing.
Yeah, I guess a big string to Burton's bow is his long range kicking game as well.
Yeah, and Luai's not the best kicker. That's definitely not Luai's strength. So it takes a little bit of the burden off Nathan Cleary. And Queensland have had really good kick pressure on him the last couple of series.
Yeah. How long have we got? 49 days?
Yeah, well, it was 7 weeks yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 48
7 weeks away. So there'll be some injuries.
Yeah, that's
it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we're already starting to talk about.
Yeah. Ponga. The other dilemma then on the other side of the coin for Queensland, Reece Walsh has been on fire, but Kalen Ponga now is back most likely next week. So he was unbelievable last year in Origin.
Yeah, he was player of the. He was man of the match in game 3.
Yes. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think he got man of the match. He definitely got man of the match for one of the games.
Yeah, it was game 3. It was. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was
up in
brilliant.
Yeah, he was. He was amazing that day. But if you're picking it, well, it's hard this because if you're picking a team tomorrow, but with Ponga's injury, he's not available. But based off even what we've seen this year, surely you've got to go Reece Walsh.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think Ponga's proven himself, and Queensland do go with people who have done it in that arena before. I know Reece Walsh looks like a superstar, but if Ponga has 3 or 4 good games now the next few weeks,
but he's playing at 5'8".
Yeah, but they know he can play fullback. Does that matter? Would Darren Lockyer would sometimes play a different position for Queensland. Billy Slater would play on the wing for Queensland when they had other people at fullback. It's just got to get the best players in there. And
I know what you're saying.
Well, if you're New South Wales, would you be scared of Ponga at his best or Reece Walsh at his best? Who would scare you more?
Yeah, Ponga.
Ponga at his best. Yeah. So maybe they'll definitely give him, if he plays all right the next few weeks, I reckon they'll give him first crack. But who knows? People are getting injured left, front, centre now as well. Yesterday, Viliama Kikau, terrible news. He's going to be out for 10 to 12 weeks for the Dogs. That's now a massive loss for them. And that's what could bring the competition a little bit closer together as well. Ruin the closeness of the comp is players losing, their teams losing their star players.
Just before we go on to that, back to Queensland's fullback.
Yeah,
is the Hammer a shout?
Of course he is. What do you have? 12 tackle busts on the weekend, 3 line breaks, couple of tries,
he's a bigger body as well.
Yeah, and he's just so quick. If you had the pecking order now, what order would you have those 3 in then?
Mate, I kind of forget. I reckon just off this year. Oh man, Ponga's at 3. And then you know what? I'm gonna put the Hammer at the top because he's got less help around him.
Yeah.
Just on that fact only.
They've got to get him in there somewhere, probably.
I think Reece Walsh is arguably playing better, but he's playing in a team that's dominating. Where the Dolphins, they've had to fight for everything. Oh.
And he's played Origin before, Hammer. They've got, to be fair, the issue with Queensland the last couple of years has been their backline, but they've all of a sudden they've got some gun outside backs. Yeah. Murray Tuolangi's back this weekend for the Cowboys. He'll probably be in that Origin team as well. You got Val Holmes. He's another option at fullback as well.
Yeah, he is.
So they've got a few options this time.
Jeez.
So
the selection headache.
Yeah, it's exciting. I can't wait.
The more and more as time goes by, we're going to be talking more and more about Origin potentials, aren't we? But Matt, like you said, devastating news for Viliami Kikau. The Dogs already lost, arguably, their best player in Ado Carr and one of the more vocal leaders within the group. That's a void that needs to be filled. It's not just what Josh Ado Carr brings to the football team in terms of performance and speed and the ability to finish a try. It's his energy around the joint. So you remove him, it's not. I've seen Braden Burns who's come in, who's a very good first grader, but not the conversations around the football club need to be, okay, well, who's going to take over that energy driver? Because that's what Josh Ado Carr is. You see him in and around the group, and he's always pumping people up. So I think Cam Serraldo would be well served to have him in amongst the group on game day, just for his talk and his knowledge and his enthusiasm. It rubs off on people, but we're starting to see quite a few injuries take shape, aren't we?
Yeah, the Dogs, that's going to hurt them.
It's such a good news as well with him coming back. Pangai Jr. coming back.
Yeah,
just
there's been some positive news around Luke Thompson as well. Apparently his rehab's going really well, so he'll be back earlier than expected.
Yeah, it's a cruel game sometimes,
and the Dogs aren't a team with a lot of depth either.
No, it is a cruel game sometimes. Like you look at Adam Dewey, the innocuous incident, just goes up to catch a ball. It's not fair.
Yeah. And then he walked off, so it didn't look that serious either as well.
It's bizarre that it just thought brilliant. He's walked off unassisted.
Yeah.
But
one team that isn't really impacted by injuries at the moment, Liam Martin could be back this weekend as well. He's in the extended squad. The Penrith Panthers, and Michael Chalmers has written a little story about the dilemma they've got coming in November 1. Dylan Edwards and Jerome Luai can negotiate with other clubs from November 1, and they are resigned to the fact that it's going to be tough to keep them both. Now, Edwards is on about 500 at the moment. I think Luai's on about 650. So both of them could get a lot more money on the open market. If you're the Penrith Panthers, who do you reckon they should prioritise there?
Well, that's the price of success, isn't it? That's the price you pay for, being in 3 grand finals in a row and winning 2 of them. So they both are top quality players, no doubt. Like our listeners don't need me to tell them that. They would see that each and every week. I guess where the priority is there's a number of things to consider. So who have we got coming through? We know about the Penrith production line. Is there a person in a particular position that would be knocking down the door, so it's less, so you don't have to yourself then go to market to replace you replace from within. So if there's a young 5'8" out there or a young fullback, you go, okay, well, we'll just get this guy up into the top squad, and that's if
they had Katoa and the Dolphins got him.
Yeah, that's if that's if they can't keep both.
Yeah,
we don't know that for sure yet, but let's play pretend, and then let's pretend that they can't keep both. So that will factor into which one. Also, they'll probably speak to Nathan and Isaiah as 2 of the leaders about, okay, if we can only keep one, where are we thinking? I personally think a fullback, the person playing fullback is harder to replace than the person playing 5'8". And that's just with the sheer volume and the load that goes into training, the knowledge of the game, like what you'd have to coach or teach a new fullback, and the responsibility they have is far greater than what you would for a 5'8". Because Luai he plays on instinct, so that's not necessarily not really something you can replicate or coach. But with someone that plays that role of Dylan Edwards to come in, like, it's going to be information overload. I think it'll be a bigger adjustment for the Panthers should they lose Dylan Edwards versus losing Jerome Luai.
Yeah, because Dylan Edwards, he's so important to them. Like, he was a Clive Churchill medalist in the grand final. Like, he's the most underrated player probably in the NRL, and he's quite a humble guy. So he's not, I saw something that I think Woodsy said that Aaron Woods said, that he would pay him $1 million if he was in a club. Like,
well, if either of them go to market and get their market value or what a club would be prepared to pay them, both of them would get over $1 million. Hey, we're talking about one or the other. They might lose both.
Yeah.
Like, there's no guarantees. They both might stay. They could lose one or the other. Because, again, like, they're losing Crichton.
Yep.
Like,
they've lost Coruscant, they've lost Kick-Out.
They've got other positions that they may need to prioritise. And like I say, they might have a young fullback and a young 5'8" to go in and go, well, we'll spread the money out evenly. They might lose both, because if both go to market, I guarantee you now, there'll be clubs out there paying $1 million easy for both of them.
Yeah. Well, one of those clubs...
But that's if they want to go. Let's not forget, Jerome Luai is a local junior. He loves the area out there. So... But
so is Stephen Crichton. And, like, money talks, I guess, for these guys. They've only got short careers. Like, they've already won... The thing is, they've already won a couple of comps. Yeah. And they might win a comp again this year.
Yeah, that's all true. That's all things to consider. And even, I think, the attraction for Jerome Luai, I've said this before, that, you know, people are smart in recruitment industry. Like, they're not just saying, like, oh, here's the offer, here's our football club. They'll be tapping into his psyche and saying, like, look, Luai, you know, you can come to you're our man if you come to us.
Yeah.
This is your team now.
Yeah.
You can win something as you being the big dog. Maybe even throw the number 7 on his back. Yeah. I know that's been touted about the Bulldogs may look to use him as the number 7. Like, that could be the carrot that gets him over the line. It's not necessarily about money or team. Sometimes ego comes into it as well, and that could be the offer to him to go, mate, we'll give you the keys to this team, and that might just be the thing that turns someone's head. But mate, both of those go to market, get their top value, $1 million easy.
Yeah, it's so hard for the Panthers. They built something so brilliant. It just keeps getting the eyes pecked out of it, I guess. But
it's the price you pay for success, isn't it? And it's a compliment to Penrith.
Yes,
and the systems that they've got out there. It is. They should, every time, you know, one of their players gets picked off, they should, well done. We're going to take a quick break from the show to talk about our new partner, AG1. Now, I love AG1. I've been taking them for about 6 months now. I've noticed multiple health benefits. My gut feels better. My focus is more clear. My intensity in my workouts has gone up as well. And this is all thanks to AG1. It's the one-stop solution for all your supplement needs. I love starting my day with a refreshing glass of AG1. So simple. 1 scoop in the glass, some cold water, give it a stir, or if you want to go fancy and get the shake, do that as well. But it's so easy. It takes out the guesswork with your supplement requirements. If you miss it in the morning, take it at night. I never miss a day with AG1, and I am reaping the rewards from it. And the best thing about it is it tastes great too. And you can really start to feel the benefits. Have it as a simple part of your routine, and you'll see the benefits too. So if you're looking to make positive change with your health outcomes, check out AG1. You will not be disappointed. There's 75 high-quality ingredients. Take care of all your nutritious needs every single day. It's a small habit that you start and gets big results. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. So to check out this exclusive buy round listeners deal, head to athleticgreens.com/buy round. That's athleticgreens.com/buy round. Your only place to get the free 1-year supply of vitamin D from Athletic Greens plus 5 free travel packs. Make sure you check it out or click in the show notes where we'll have that link for you as well. Please don't delay and get your Athletic Greens today.
Well, a team that might actually throw $1 million at both Dylan Edwards and Jerome Luai is the St. George Illawarra Dragons. And the coaching situation just keeps getting messier and messier. They met with George Mimas, who manages Ben Hornby, Des Hasler, and Jason Riles, so 3 of the contenders for the job. And Ben Hunt fronted the media yesterday, and he came out and basically has said that he doesn't have the time for a new coach. He's only got a couple of years left in NRL, and he thinks getting rid of Anthony Griffin would start the cycle all over again. And and he's basically said if Anthony Griffin was to get sacked, he'd have to reconsider his options at the Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's it. Like as a club, as a coach, that's what you'd want your captain and your leader to say. But if the situation comes around, but I'm saying if, let's be honest,
Anthony Griffin won't be the coach.
It's when the situation comes around, like that. You can be assured that, well, they'll need to put some conversations in place to make sure Ben Hunt's dealing with that okay, and there's no one player bigger than the club. Like that's just the way it is. I applaud Benny Hunt's admiration for Coach Griffin, but really when the news came about the Dragons accepting auditioning for the job, it was, and they got a good win against the Dolphins, but really all the media were waiting for was the next loss.
Yeah.
So they had two really...
They actually played quite well against the Titans as well. That was a good, high-quality game.
Yeah, they did, but they had two losses by 40 points there against the Sharks and Brisbane. And then it's like, okay, well, when the next loss happens, that's where we're going... Like, the press couldn't wait.
Mm.
And it happened even though they played really well.
Yeah.
So, look, it's not ideal what's going on down there. I feel for Anthony Griffin. I really do. This is not a position that a coach should be put in. Like I do feel for him. It will be interesting to see if he lasts the year, if he wants to last the year.
Yeah, what would you do if you were him? If I can imagine if I was like doing this podcast and you were interviewing other prospective podcasters, I'd probably say, mate, if you want someone else, I'll just leave. It's all good, brother. See you later. Just pay me out for the rest of the year.
Did you not have the chat? I thought you knew.
I'm happy to walk away. Bloke in a bar have offered me a big pay increase.
If you Griffin, I don't know. Coaches are funny human beings. There'll be a part of them that would be like, well, I'm going to get this team performing so well. I'm going to I'll make them look stupid for letting me go. Also, I can't imagine Anthony Griffin wanting to hang up the notepad or the clipboard,
because it might be his last chance in the NRL. This one,
so he'll need to prove himself in order to reapply for it or get another job later down the track should he want to continue on. So very difficult. There's lots of names being tossed up about what the Dragons should do, whether they go to somebody that's been a part of the club before versus
Can we talk about that? The needing to be a part of the club thing? Is that just absolute sort of nonsense that you need to be a part of a club to make that club successful? The only person at the Dragons that has ever had any success in the modern era is Wayne Bennett. He's not a Dragons man.
No, that's true. That's true. Look, I guess having played there, I think if you're not a part of it, or if you've not been a part of it, you need to understand very quickly the board level situation and the fracture between the St. George side of the football club and the Illawarra side of the football club. Because if you sleepwalk into that and think it's not going to be an issue, I think you'd be very wrong. And I think that's what Wayne Bennett did so well. He addressed that from day one. I think he's on record of even speaking with CEO at the time, Peter Dowse, just saying, you stay away from me. Let me run this football club. Now, Wayne's a man that can do that. But if another external person comes in and perhaps they're not supported by both sides of the board, then, they'll be on a hiding to nothing. So what a guy like Riles or Hornby or Dean Young would understand is that there is the politics that come with the Dragons, and he'd know how to play that game. So that for me is why the Dragons may opt to get someone from within. And as well, let's not forget, like, Hornby, Riles, Dean Young all look like they're going to become really top level coaches. It's just the fact that they played for the Dragons as well. So, that's a nice, handy coincidence.
Yeah,
they're sort of three rookie coaches that are looking to ply their trade as a first grade coach. So
there's no guarantees that Jason Riles would actually take the job.
Well, he's
a chance of getting the Melbourne job. He's also like the assistant at the Sydney Roosters at the moment. He might think the Dragons' situation isn't right for him.
Yeah, I think looking at who's around, Sean Wayne over in England, Des Hasler, Flanagan. I guess
is Flanagan the kind of person that can tell the board to get stuffed?
Don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know him well enough to make that call, but he's obviously been there on two separate occasions.
Yeah,
in different roles, so he'd have a level of understanding of it. And obviously, I worked under Des for 6 or 7 years, and I love my time with him, and know what he can do in terms of transitioning a group and getting players, pushing them to the absolute extreme and getting the absolute utmost out of them. But Des and the Dragons board could be an interesting recipe.
Yeah. Well, who would you pick then if it was your job to get the coach?
I'd probably go Des. Yeah.
Yeah, Des.
Yeah, but just based off what he did for me, a relationship with him, it didn't end the best, but I think he'd do a fantastic job there. He definitely needs some help and support though, and I think there's probably one or two recruitment decisions to be made as well. He'd want to move some people on and bring some people in, or players, sorry.
Yep. That's very interesting. Des Hasler could be at the Dragons. Wait and see.
Well, it's clear he wants to coach.
Yeah.
He wants to coach. But then, so does Shane Flanagan. So does a lot of other people. So, yeah.
And Des Hasler's name's been around sort of as soon as he left the Manly job. The Dragons might be an option for him as well. But let's move on to another team then, the Parramatta Eels. They beat the Tigers, but it was shaky. And the whole talk about them at the start of the year was obvious draw has been really tough. They've had so many big games after big games. But they got the Tigers and they were a bit flat, especially in the second half. And I don't know, should fans be nervous? It seems like they're definitely not a contender this year.
Yeah, look, I think it was weird that they did beat the Tigers. Then we spoke to Mitchell Moses after the game, and he sounded so deflated and just so, genuinely. If you listened to the way he spoke, you would have, and you didn't know the result, you would have thought that they would have lost, which isn't a bad thing. So it shows that he cares about the level of performance. I think, to be fair to Parramatta in that game, they started really well. And I think they took the foot off the gas. They've had 5 games where they've been up to their eyeballs. And no doubt the talk would have been in the week, boys, we've got to be up for this. We can't let complacency set in. We've got to start well, and then we'll cruise home. And I think that's what they did. And yes, they invited the Tigers back into it. But if you look back to that first half, I think it was 20 points to 6 at one point, and the Tigers' only real opportunity, which they scored from, came from Parramatta loose pass.
Yeah.
So look, there's some areas there that Para will want to clean up, but I don't think there's any necessary huge panic on their hands. I think they'll take a lot from some of the performances in the opening 6 games. Look, Parramatta, it's the same as last year. They'll get judged in September. Well, that's where we reserve judgment for. I think there's still enough there. There's enough talent. There's enough experience to get them a spot into finals and play finals. But it's just what they do when they come to the finals time.
The Origin period could be quite beneficial for Parramatta as well, because they're probably not going to lose a heap of players to the Origin team. Maybe Junior Barlow and Regan Campbell-Gillard. But if
Campbell-Gillard plays, remember he got dropped.
He's no guarantees for that.
He got dropped for game 3 or game 2 or game 3. Remember?
He got dropped for. I think Freddie's hasn't been that high on him over the last few years. He's been sort of in and out of the team.
He played in. He played in game 1, and then they lost game 1 last year.
And they bring Jake Trbojevic into the middle.
I think so. Yeah. But Campbell, it was a strange one to drop him.
Yeah,
and that was when the rumours or the chat of him
having beef with the Penrith players. Yeah, so there's a good chance that he's not picked. So then you've got maybe, I can't think of anyone else who would play that. Madison's probably not going to play for them. So they might only lose one player.
Yeah, that's a huge benefit for Para, that they won't be decimated in Origin time. That said, though, Charlie, you just spoke about the two guys that potentially could in Barlow and Campbell-Gillard. If they go, like because they have such a reliance on those two, like such a reliance on those two in terms of the minutes that they cover, the amount of work that they get through. That you say it's only a couple of players, but they're two bookends that if they go without, it could be a tough.
Yeah, and they haven't got a heap of depth in the middle either.
No, not at all.
Wiremu McGreg's coming in. He's probably only can get 20 minutes out. It seemed like the last couple of games he's played. So, anyway, let's move on to the round then. Round 7, and he starts off tonight with the Dolphins against the Bunnies. And I thought this was strange. Ladbrokes have the Dolphins at $3 underdogs. Is that like very long?
It does seem it, doesn't it? Like, I was speaking to somebody the other day, and we mentioned, the underdogs winning, and how you can't pick a winner this year, how difficult it is. So, the Dolphins beat the Cowboys, and like, well, why are we calling the Dolphins underdogs?
Yeah, I think it was you and Brandon Smith talking about that. Right? Yeah. The Bunnies have looked a bit shaky. The Dolphins are actually higher on them in the ladder, and they're $3 underdogs.
And the Wayne Bennett against his old team.
Is it a short turn? It's a short turnaround, I think, isn't it? Do they play on the Saturday? Although, no, they played the Friday. Played the Friday against the Cowboys, and so did the Bunnies. They played a Good Friday as well. Yeah. How do you see the game going, though?
Surely, Souths have got to win.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The Wayne Bennett
I reckon there'll be a lot of I don't knows.
I reckon Bunnies in a tight one.
Bunnies in a tight one. Yeah. Let's go on to the Sharks and the Chookies. And we were talking a bit about this game before we came on air, because it's both going to be our same game multi.
Yes.
Yeah. It is. It's a big game for both clubs. Rudolph's obviously out now for a little while. That's a big loss. But my man Royce Hunt comes into the starting lineup, and James Tedesco's back as well.
That's right. And the reason you mentioned Royce Hunt is because
I think he might score a try. I've got him in my same game multi. So he's paying $10.50 to score a try, but he actually scores a few tries. Like last year, he scored 3 tries in games he started, and I can just see him getting a little short ball off Blake Brayley, crushing over under the posts. And at $10.50, I think it's quite juicy. So I've got him, and I've got Daniel Tupu to score a try, and I've got the Roosters 1-12. It's paying like $56 on Ladbrokes or something like that. So if it gets up, it'll be on the socials. It'll be on my socials. I might get my parents to repost on their socials. I might get my mates to reshare on their socials.
You'll break the internet, Charlie, if that happens.
Lock it in.
It's an interesting game, this, because the Sharks now, they're getting into the territory after the loss to the Warriors. They're getting into that territory like, hang on, the mountain's getting higher here.
Yeah.
So, but I still fancy Roosters come back from Melbourne, sort of tail between their legs a little bit. Expecting a big response from them. And I've gone Roosters 1-12 also, but just Joseph Swalihi anytime. So it's about $5.60.
About $5.60, okay, yeah. So mine's about 10 times bigger than yours.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Mine looks a lot bigger, but it's not about how it looks, is it? It's more about what happens out there on the field.
It is.
So we'll see what happens. Friday. We've got another game Friday, don't we? Manly versus Storm.
Battle of Brookvale.
Yes. Can Manly stop the slide?
Not against Melbourne.
Munster in a fullback.
Not with the way they're playing. Like, no.
Yeah.
No. They were beyond clinical against the Roosters last week. Beyond, like, they were so good.
At time of recording, Schuster's still in the extended squad, so there's a chance he plays. Does that change anything if he comes back?
Not against Melbourne.
Yeah.
No. Look, he'll add something to Manly's attack, but the defence has been a real worry. And with the attacking threats that Melbourne have, no. Manly need to fix up their defence.
Yeah.
If Schuster comes in, like, he's a solid defender, but that's not what he's there for.
No.
So
they've conceded more than 30 points 3 times now.
Yeah.
We've only had 6 games, and they've had a bye as well. So
yeah.
60% of their games they've conceded over 30 points. It's a bit of stats on the run right there.
Yeah, I can't even compute that in my brain right now whether you're correct or not. But now Melbourne for that one.
Yeah, I actually reckon Melbourne. If I was putting about in the premiership now, like right now, I'd probably want to put it on Melbourne with the chance of Pappenhausen coming back and making an impact as well. Their spine's unbelievable.
Yeah,
like Munster's so good. He's probably, I think you said yesterday or 2 days ago, he's the best player in the game.
Well, you got Munster, you got Cleary,
Harry Grant, cheese threw up.
Yeah, I reckon it's Munster or Cleary. It's a hard one to.
If Turbo gets going, he can be the best player in the comp.
Yeah, but as it is now, I think, Munster or Cleary, that is a tough one to split. But yeah.
All right, Saturday then, Warriors against the Cowboys, and we spoke about it. We might have actually spoken about this before coming on air, but it's a massive game for the Cowboys.
You said Cowboys, didn't you?
I think Cowboys will win this year. I think they need it more, and I think the Warriors could be starting their little downward trajectory. Tamari Martin's out now for a little while. Nia Kure's still out. Mitch Barnett's still out.
Warriors at home though, mate.
Yeah, I know, but this is a game where everyone's like, yeah, the Warriors should win it. So that means they probably won't win it.
Is this why you're not backing it?
Yeah.
Are you back to the rule of...
Well, no, I think the Cowboys will win. I was actually going to do Cowboys for my same game multi, but I just think Nanai's come back, Tuolangi's back, and they really need a win. Like, they're languishing near the bottom of the table, the Cowboys.
But I'm going to go with the Warriors.
You know the Warriors? Do you put a little wager on it then? Yeah,
let's do it.
It's like $1.90, $1.90 bet. So
do it off air.
All right, Knights Panthers.
Yeah, but it'd be close. I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah. Okay. Knights are in decent form.
Yeah,
they're going all right.
Yeah. Who they lose? They've lost Jaden Brayley though.
Yeah. That's
a big loss.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that sucks for them.
Saturday night, then Titans Broncos. That's a bit of a rival matchup. You could tell it was a rivalry matchup. I didn't really realise how much of this was a rivalry. And then when we were up there in the Gold Coast, all the people were talking about it. Like all they're talking about, I've got the Broncos next week, and then getting tickets and that. So then I was like, oh, geez, wow. Must be a big game.
Is that what you said? Oh, geez, wow.
I didn't really realise it meant that much to you all.
Broncos. I reckon the Broncos will be back.
Yeah.
With a vengeance.
Brilliant. And then Raiders, Dragons, Whiten and Tarpany are back.
Yeah, Raiders.
And then finally, Eels, big game against the Dogs. Eels, if you did want to have a punt on them, they're only $1.50 on Ladbrokes at the moment. And no kick out is massive.
Yeah, it is. But look, I can't back against the Dogs. So I'm going to pick them.
Okay.
And hey, Tigers have got the bye. Who wins?
Well, we'll see. Currently, they're on 0 points.
TBC.
That's something that's annoying me, actually. the bye and like the ladder. You know what? I had
How can a team that's 1-2 be above a team that's 1-3?
Yeah. Do we need to give buys? Why do we need to give points for the bye? Why don't we just not give points for the bye and just have bye in their column?
Well, we're the bye round. We should be dictating that.
Yeah. Let's start the petition now.
We're the bye round. We're going to decide whether there's 2 points or no points for everybody.
Yes. I say no points.
I say no points as well.
Yeah. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Or don't let us know because we're a dictatorship here.
I'm all about the people.
Yeah, but we're the buy round, Charlie. So we if there's one thing we know, it's buy round.
You know how you came up with the name for this podcast? Did you come up with the name, like were you pre-planning? Because you're like, oh, we're going to have 17 teams soon, so we will have a buy? Or was that just like happen, like a bit of luck involved?
I probably
pre-planned it out, didn't you?
Probably didn't think.
Probably got the whiteboard out. You sort of connecting
there'll
dots.
Be 17 teams, then buy round.
Yeah, bang. Good thinking, mate. Well done.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. Well, that just about wraps us up for Midweek Matters. Thanks for listening, everybody. Charlie wants to mention as well that we've got these T-shirts available. I think you click on the link and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you go to the buyround.com.
Yeah, if you want one of these trendy T-shirts, available in black,
grey.
Yeah.
That's it. No other colours than that.
That's all we've got.
Yeah.
That's all we.
But we've got most sizes.
Most sizes.
Not all sizes.
Not all sizes, most of them.
Most.
But we've decided that black and grey is all you need.
Yeah.
So if you want one, buy one.
At the buy round.
At the buy round.
Spelled B-Y-E.
B-Y-E. Yeah. Oh, no. Don't go to the biround.com.
I'm at the B-U-I, but yeah. All right. See you next week.
See you next week.